because that was the only way my teacher could get me to hand an essay. And that's the advice I give is to keep writing, and to keep writing different things. You know, if you're going to write for television, yeah, that's fine all what I did, but if all you're writing is certain type of content, certain channel, up to you, that's all you're writing. You don't do anything. So, you know, write something for television, try writing something in theater format, try writing something in radio play format, because then you can show it. So just continuously writing helps so much in holding writing. You know, because like me myself, after writing script for so long, I ended up becoming a copywriter and advertising. And writing copy influenced my script writing as well. Because you have to write copy for advertising in a very specific type of way. And it teaches you a lot of discipline. Yeah, discipline. So then you bring that over there. So just keep writing anything, poetry, essay, whatever. So then you have a much bigger palette to know what all the rules. Once you know all the rules, you're not great.
Try not writing. Try writing in a different way is what I'd probably ask you to do. You write on type or whatever, you can try and tell a story using a traditional method. As an artist, you need to try and find a way to tell a story without words. Maybe then you can experience what it's like to actually be a visual storyteller and how that translates to your story.
Continue.
And when after you've done all that,
Watching.
then you take your ideas by going to the kitchen. And people will tell you whether, because here is what on the inside, whether your story is good or not. And how do you do that? By getting other people to actually say whether it's good or not. And you can easily do that and actually fail fast and recover. That's what you're going to try from the crowdfunding platform. In pitch stage or then
Thank you for flagging that. Not that I think it's a great idea. I'm going to give 9%. I'm just going to very quick. I think you want to become a great writer. A lot of writers and very smart don't like to the world. And if they read anything, read a lot. As with everything else, you must have a passion to do it. But your question was why is everybody writing the same stuff, right? Like, why does it look, actually, why does it look like everybody's writing the same thing, or theme, whatever? It's actually because we don't actually get to write what we really want to write sometimes. We're being told, producers want it this way, because this sells. It's because Malaysians are not risk takers. We're not taking the risk, we're not challenging ourselves, that's why. I have met a lot of writers, of course. We're actually hermits, we don't come out very often. We always keep crawling the rock today. But yeah, there are writers out there who I've met who have a lot to say. It's just that they don't have that opportunity to say it in for the mass market. They're either writing it for themselves or for online, for blog, for whatever, not necessarily the screenwriters, but writers, in general. But yeah, it's mostly that. If you want to talk about, how to be a good writer or whatever, I don't know, there's no real format for me, Like for myself, I started because I'm passionate about writing. Actually, I'm passionate about telling stories. People tell me I can't shut up. But yeah, I'm passionate about telling stories, and I have a lot that I want to tell. A lot of it because I live and I observe. All these things that I see, all these things that I experience, I want to tell someone. So, that's why I'm frustrated. There's so much inside I cannot get out. Okay, yeah, I hope that answers your question. I think we have time for about at least 2 more. Yes?
Hi, my name is Lee.
This is the director over here. You're the director? Yes.
Okay, I think I want to give a comment. I think the question we had was Malaysian creative industry for the new generation, myth or reality. I think what's interesting is places and platforms. There are a lot of spaces. This is comment. Sorry. There are a lot of spaces that I think we spaces and platforms. Okay, there's a difference between place and space. So we are in a place called Malaysia. Spaces is everywhere. So it's international. So it's a matter of finding the space. And in creative industry, you've got multiple spaces. All right, we're not just talking about one. So, for instance, I think one interesting move was Amir Muhammad's move to create 60. That's him creating an entirely different space. I know he's a writer initially, but then he came over and created another space, which I think the writing is so, but he really created a different space and eventually created another platform to make something new. So it's a matter of, it's not just the new generation, it's a matter of the next generation to realize this mythical spaces like, oh, I'm a myth, the myth is if I'm a writer, I can survive off my royalties or whatever, right? Maybe the next generation, not the new generation, maybe the next generation can make that myth into a reality. So it's a fine line right now, whether it's myth, whether it's reality, I think. But yeah, it's not the new generation, it's the next generation to pick it up. The new generation are realizing these spaces and I think they are using it. They are trying to utilize it. Whether or not we're going to hit the wall is another question. Someone's bound to see it, I guess. You're going to push the wrong button, maybe, but I guess, yeah.
Thank you very much. Time for one more question, I reckon. One more, okay? All right. Hello, can we do one more? Okay, doesn't have to do it. We're going to do it. One more question from the floor. Yes? Okay.
I hear a lot about people wanting, they're frustrated and they want to be creative. Is there a platform or a space where like-minded individuals, maybe independent directors, independent script writers, actors who want to get into it, to actually come together and then do their thing, right? Could this be an online thing? Is it a community thing? I don't know. I'm just asking
Where
this
do you hang
question.
out?
What now?
Where do you hang out? Like, because I think that's a very valid question. Where do you, because you need to bounce ideas, you need to find like-minded.
There's actually, I mean, Charles is not the first person to thought of this. There's a couple things starting up. Like, if you look up on Facebook, there's a group called WTF Drinks, Working Title Filmmakers. It was started by two filmmakers who basically were just like asking that question, like, where do we all meet up? Actors, filmmakers, where do we all like get to know each other and like maybe oh, you're an editor, oh, I'm working on this thing, oh, we like the same stuff, let's work together. So they've been organizing that, and I think it's been really cool. One or two projects that come out of it, it's hasn't really like blown up into the whole hotbed of creativity. It's but it's not at least not people are trying to do that. I don't know about a proper platform to do stuff like this. I think it's more of just, I mean, we have a way of reaching out to people now, as opposed to trying to get someone to organize it. So I think you do yourself, like, yo, what up? So make this post. And then see who replies.
How welcoming is that community to be people? Because I know a lot of people want to do things, especially, I understand how it's been become, you're afraid to approach people, who have made movies. Like, I'm not sure about not there or whatever. So how welcoming is it in general?
It's quite welcome. I mean, because everyone's always looking for it. You get any room with a bunch of filmmakers, it's not, you get, there'll be 100 people asking, is there an editor in here? And there's another 100 people saying, is there a director in here? Everyone's looking for everyone. Everyone's trying to find talent. Trying to herd all these cows with the same flock. It's a bit tricky. But they're all out there asking the same questions. So when you have situations like that, in situations like this, it's probably one of the best ways where people are like, bro, you got animation? Hey, what's up?
If there are no more questions, I think that everyone with a closing statement, like what do you think is the best takeaway from all that? But, what would you like them to take away from this panel? Let's say, I assume that people are here, you have a football. I know most of you are animated, most of you are also creative. So you probably are thinking about where you would probably, you're a writer, you probably are thinking about your own thing. So what do you think should we take away from this discussion? Unless we have one more question, not, we'll just go on to the closing statement. Okay, all right. Tyron?
Closing statements. I need to be. That's what's forefront of my
Okay,
head.
Mimi?
Yeah, you know, if you're somebody that wants to do something creative, like, my best advice would be to just do it, you know? It sounds really stupid, but just do it. It sounds like a Nike slogan, but just do it, you know? It's no use trying to bang on doors and go rah, 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 and say, no one's helping me. Why can't I get funding? Why can't I get this stuff out there? People have nothing to show. Like, I'm a big believer that if you can show that you can do something with limited resources, not everyone, but someone's going to notice you and say, you can do that with that. Let's see what you can do with, that, with this. And you're going to find other like-minded people. There are ways now where you can get your stuff somewhere to be seen. So much easier than it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago. So just do it. The technology's there. There are systems there. You just do it. And you won't believe the amount of young people, students that I meet in talks. They're like, oh, I got this idea, but I'm not sure. I think I need to do it. And you're just like, what do you need $200,000 for a short film? That's ridiculous. Who's going to give you that money? Think of something small and just do it. Get your work out there. There's no use saying, I can do this, I can do that. There's nothing to show. You just do it.
One thing I'd like to sort of like say that the new generation or the upcoming one should not blame anyone for their lack of opportunity. That's the biggest thing that I want to say. And just connect yourself to as many people. Right now, there's so many social platforms out there. People get Instagram reels, people get a reaction instantly. So that's one of the things. And to utilize the various platforms that are out there, I've got this thing called Udemy, which is like UDO.my, which is about creative projects for video makers. And the biggest thing that I found with that one is starting that was so difficult because of the fact that people didn't want to share their ideas. They're like, oh, you want me to come up with this, and then it's like a way for me to get ideas. And I'm like, okay, first of all, you know, I'm not interested in that. You're providing a platform so that I can get to know what your portfolio is about. And they didn't want to share it because they thought, oh, what if it's like award-winning? And I'm like, you tell if it's award-winning if you haven't tried. So I think you should try.
Award-winning.
Yeah, so just, something's owed to them straight away. So I think it's like try and practice and use that opportunity to get yourself connected is probably the thing that I want people to take away. Jasmine?
I like to say, despite all the problems that we actually laid down just now, please don't discourage and just continue and even though I'm frustrated, I am trying and find ways to actually say what I want to say. And the opportunity is there. Malaysia is so easy, like it's not so hard. It's not too hard.
It's a very small pond.
Yeah, it is very small. If you're really passionate about it, go ahead and do it and never stop learning, because I think after 9 years, I'm still learning. The only thing I've never written for theory is animation, so if anybody wants to hire me, hey. But it's that, never stop doing what you do, all those things. And also, because Malaysia is such a wide market, I think people sometimes forget that is actually a business, and different people write for different things, and different people write different languages, and there are different markets. I said this yesterday actually, but different markets. You've got the Chinese market, you've got the Malay market, you've got the international market, whatever that is, to actually tap into. For example, like Hokkien Indian, just quote Hokkien Indian did really well in Indonesia. Every time I go to Indonesia, they say Hokkien Indian, cikgu, no, bukan cikgu. But there are a lot of markets out there for us, and let's not forget that going international doesn't mean just one place, different regions.
We'll talk about a thing. Malaysia is really an interesting country in terms of potential of filmmakers or the creative industry. In a couple of weeks, my organization will be launching the report called the Economic Contribution Report from the film and TV industry in Malaysia. And the industry actually provides 0.3% of the Malaysia's GDP. It's growing. That shows us huge potential for you guys here in this industry. when you listen to the amount of money available to the grants, funding from the government, there is no excuse for filmmakers to say that they're not given an opportunity. It's actually coming up with those high quality products. Because in the end, you don't just want to use that money to do your show and remain to be Malaysian, as Jasmine mentioned, you've got to look outwards. Because sooner or later, people will be attacking our markets with their product. So if we don't do well, then we'll be just followers of those products. Second thing which I always wanted to say just now during our discussion, but never had the chance to, is that, you know what, it would be cool if the government, with that 800 million money, could set up 1 or 2 independent theaters.
Oh yes.
So that filmmakers could have a chance to actually show their product on a big screen. Because the big boys will never give them the opportunity. And the only way, if the government wants to help these guys, actually to keep them that space, so that people could see their work in the big screen, and you know what, these people could turn out then into the big screen, mainstream. So I really hope, if we could look at that. Yeah.
We see you.
Yeah. At least two screens. Yeah. To help the industry. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have one thing I want to say. It's actually, I was here at the Creative Conference 3 years ago. I was just a kid, I just arrived probably. I was in Britain for a while, hadn't visited Malaysia for a long while. And I remember one of the most useful things some white dude told me at the conference. I forgot who he was, some big executive from Pixar. And he was on the podium and he was telling everyone there, I know all of you are creatives, you're weird. You're the weird kids who don't want to talk to anyone, and that's no problem. The way he got into business is that he had a small independent company, and he didn't stop contacting big stars, sending them his work, saying like, look at me, look at me, look at me, until he finally could do something great, and they were like, okay, this guy who sent us 120 faxes, we're going to see him. And so if you're here, and you know these people have, they're people that you should talk to. And I think that if you're interested in furthering yourself, I mean, I got my first writing assignment when I was at the last creative conference. I was smoking in the corner. I wasn't smoking. I was drinking a coffee. So I talked to this girl, and I actually got my first writing assignment, and now I'm moderating panel or whatever. So from random kid to moderating panel. So if you're here and you want to talk to anyone about anything, don't be afraid. They're nice guys. Absolutely. So thank you for coming, and I hope you all benefited from this panel.
Thank you, Zara. Those was our speakers today. Panelists. I would like to hand over some token of appreciation, and for this, I'd like to invite up on stage and Sheikh Abdul Uthman. Jasmine here. Our moderator for today is Gahad. Oh, yeah, you as well. To Marini. And last but not least, to KREA8TIF. Big round of applause once again. And also, Mr. Kabir, I would like to invite you to give a few words before we end the conference for this year.
Okay, I'll try not to make it too long because I know it's Sunday, so it's the clock. But what I would like to say is that I think over the last, yesterday and today, I think you all agree that it has been a very wonderful weekend. I'm very happy personally that I see the creative community here very vibrant and very robust. And I think after today, I'm not sure whether how many questions will be asked about funds. But certainly, if there's a short plug for it, yes, we do know, I mean, whatever we heard today from these esteemed speakers who have shared their views, it's all very real. We know some of the problems, but we can't solve everything. But bit by bit, we try to sort of, how shall we put it, move a step at a time. One small step for government agencies and a giant step for the creative industry as a whole. Because it's better than to be like that than to go in for the kill, only to find that it's what we call in Malaysia as hot chicken shit. Which is really about hangangat te ayam, meaning that we want to do something and then we end up not being able to do it because we wanted to do too much and without achieving much. But all I can say is that if we're talking about that theater that was mentioned earlier, I think we'll have to work very closely with the Ministry of Youth, Culture and Sports, because I think that's where no, because I do believe, I mean, there's a national film theater in the UK, there is the Lincoln Center in New York, so if Malaysia is going to be part of the game, you might as well have a Kuala Lumpur film theater or something, where you can have all the film festivals and stuff like that wherever the world is. So maybe for the 11 Malaysia plan, we can work together. So I really do hope that, sorry? Yeah, well, I mean, we can write a paper together. After all, we had the same interest in the same movies, and I was very excited to hear she mentioned the same movies that I liked. Okay, so I think apart from that, we also have to thank very much to our speakers from abroad and from, well, some of them are from abroad, but they're in Kuala Lumpur. We thank you very much. And I really, really admire the way that you're more than willing to share your experience, the happy moments, the unhappy moments, because we know this is what this industry is all about. I mean, if you know, Nick, Jasmine, you said she was frustrated. Well, I've been frustrated for 40 years also. Trying to move things, but then to realize things as simple as this. Yes, we would like to help filmmakers. And then when they come in, we have a rule that says you must be a Sandran Prahat. Right? Same problems. And then we have writers individually who come and who like superb stories. And then we find ourselves in a situation where we say, do you have a company? Because for the purposes of our legal department to do contracts and all that, they can't do it with individuals. So why I'm highlighting all this, we are saying that these are the things that we have to cope with. But knowing the problem is almost like saying we are halfway towards solving them. So what I'm trying to say basically is that that's a chapter, you know, a few more years, probably be able to do it. So to the speakers, I thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. I think everyone who was here today and every Malaysian is very happy that you could be here and share with us your thoughts. And of course to the audience, lovely audience, and I hope you give applause to yourselves. A lot of very young people, and until they defined the new generation, I thought I was part of the Woodstock generation, the first Woodstock, not the second one. I'm talking about the one where Jimi Hendrix went on, and well, I mean, John would probably be from the same generation as well. And we are talking here about Richie Havens, talking about singing about freedom and all that. That was the real one. The second one was a bit more commercial. So to the audience, and of course, last but not least, we must not forget the people who organized to put all this thing together. So that's Impian Sanrohat, right? So that's the event organizer, and of course to our team from MDEC, they're all here. If you want them to stand up, they can stand up. But, okay? And Linktree as well, yes. Okay. Linktree, Impian, and MDEC, and of course everybody else who has been involved with this. And last but not least, and this is the best part actually, yesterday the minister opened the event. And now I'm supposed to close it. So how do I re-invite the minister? I will not do much than to say, on behalf of the minister, we declare KREA8TIF 2014 closed. And we hope to see you again for KREA8TIF 2015. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kamari, Vice President, Creative Multimedia Division of MDAC. So yeah, that marks the end of the conference this year. Refreshments are served in the foyer. Don't forget to fill up the feedback form, which is available on the website www.mscmalaysia.my/KREA8TIF. See you again next year. Drive safe. Assalamualaikum.
Siapa Sasul ni? Woi, tak ada. Ada blowjob. Cik Am.
Esok makan nona. Apa mesti gulungnya? Wah, gulungnya. Mesti gulungnya, bos. Kena nak besok ah. Mana sampai. Aku ingat kan ada seminggu macam itu boleh lah. Besok sampai. Kena lah. Tak tahu lah. Dia macam, aku rasa macam rukun tetangga lebih kurangnya tu. Tak pastilah, tapi nak besok pun tak sempat lah. Design lagi. Dia kata apa lah.
Dia pun cakap dia nak bina. Aku pun tak tahu apa bina macam mana. Dia masak, dia cakap dapat lah. Saya bagi jemput ni lah. Macam dia lah macam mana. Besok macam mana? Besok lah. Beri paper boleh lah.
Beri paper sambung.
Malah besok tak boleh.
Sekejap, aku nak kena isau pos datang. Okay.
Mana kubur tu?
Apa? Ada ya? Buat
Wah, aku tak tahu. Apa macam apa pakai nama tu. Hari dulu ini nak kan dia dulu. Nampak baru. Apa tu? Marul, Marul.